I don't think this has a right to slap this hard this early in development. This artwork is just gorgeous. I love this. We had previously the 100 Years War art that we enjoyed a few Tinto talks ago, and now we're getting this War of the Roses art, which is just bringing it to another level. Whoever they have doing the artwork for EU5, hats off to you, sir. You are hitting all of the right notes. I love this. Of course, this means that we have another Tinto Talks to talk about, and we're going to be talking about something completely brand new and not heard of yet. It's a new feature. But before we get into it, I would just like to do a little bit of a plug and say if you want to keep up to date, informed, and aware of all the updates and news surrounding Project Caesar, which is almost certainly EU5, then the best place to do that is right here. So if you want to hit the subscribe button, like this video, comment on the video, all of that stuff helps me out, and you'll help yourself out by staying informed. That would be pretty cool. Let us, without further ado, get into Tinto Talks number 14, where we're going to talk about the completely secret, not yet announced game. I love it. Completely new features. Let's go. It's obviously a work in progress. Nothing is final. And if there are things that you think are completely out of whack, then leave them in the comments section or on the forum itself. There will be a link in the description. The core of this new system was one of the things he designed back in the spring of 2020, a feature that could be described as both a narrative and mechanical guide for the game, something that has been inspired by the incident system from EU4, and also by the international crisis mechanic of Victoria 2, but it's not really like any of those. Today is when we introduce the new situation system. Okay, I'm intrigued. I am intrigued. Situation system. Alright, what's this then? You could describe it as content that involves multiple countries over a period of time. In Project Caesar, we're using this feature to create a historical narrative that creates different experiences, as our goal is to have an immersive and varied experience for the player. A situation can have unique actions, events that trigger, and other types of unique content, and each of them will have its own UI and map mode. If a situation may involve or affect you, it will show with an alert in the new color of purple. I do like purple. Purple is like my favorite color. We're happy with that. Let's take a look at some of the situations we have in the game right now. So, Black Death. We are finally getting a little bit of a taste of how this horrific situation is going to affect us. It's the first situation they created, and it's been going through many revisions during the past 4 years. So, this looks like rules. You can turn it random or off. Yo, okay. Game rules to turn off the Black Death seem like... I don't know about that one. On the one hand, I've seen a lot of people saying, how are we going to be enjoying the game when we get into it at the very start, and then all of a sudden, 60% of our populations are going to just die? How are we going to be able to get through that when, pretty much every EU4 player, when they experience a setback of any time, just load a previous save? I guess this is one of the ways that can be done. I also think it's funny that this part, the Greek country centered around Byzantium, is still there unchanged from when it was first shown to us a long, long time ago. I would have expected the jokey part to have been removed by now, but oh well. So yeah, we have the Black Death outbreak year in 1346, their origin as well. We've confirmation that we're getting a ledger, and various types of ledger that we can have. So, for example, in EU4 we have unlimited, we have a limited, and we have locked. So that's cool to see that we have those options again, or at least we have some options. We're not sure exactly what's coming with it yet. But yeah, I'm not sure about how I feel about being able to turn it off. I feel like it's probably not the way I want to play the game, but I'm sure some people will find it very, very much better experience, let's say. But anyway, let us have a look. Usually, it will happen from 1346 as the bubonic plague appears somewhere in Central Asia and starts spreading towards and through the Old World, killing 40 to 60% of the population of the affected areas. It spreads through adjacencies, moving armies, or through trade. There are ways you can attempt to alleviate this, but the efficiency of it is low and the cost is high. You can try and isolate your court, expel the sick, blame the minorities, and other very efficient ways to deal with the problem. Slowly spreading centrally, but some traders have already taken it into Italy. Of course, let's blame the Genoese. They've got these areas up in Crimea that they're trading with, bringing goods from the Golden Horde all the way to Italy, and then just basically ruining everyone's day, let's say. We have the Italian Wars situation. In the Age of Discovery, this is probably the most important situation for anyone in Western Europe. It's about control over Italy and what will happen as soon as French or Iberian major power or the Emperor declares war on an Italian power. There will be up to 6 different leagues that will fight over control of Italy. There's the French League, Iberian League, the Emperor's League, and up to 3 Italian leagues. The first 2 will dynamically select their leaders based on strength calculations. If one league gets hegemony over Italy, which is owning over 60% of the region, through either conquest or diplomacy, then they will win. The Italians can also win by making sure the foreign leagues are destroyed through a special peace deal. Okay. The leagues can be abandoned and anyone owning locations in Italy can join one of them. The situation allows enemies and rivals of foreign league leaders to intervene and assist the defending Italians, and also grants access to unique interactions in order to send any kind of aid, attract cheaper condottieri, and even create a new Italian league. This is really cool. I think that's awesome. I am a big fan of what I'm seeing here. Just new ways to interact with the game. Like, this kind of system is just not feasible in EU4. It's like you've got League Wars, but very specifically about Italy, and not something that happens once per game and is usually about as fun as a wet fart. So this looks awesome. I am very, very happy with this. It's how the situation would look if it fired in 1337, if Austria was to be the Holy Roman Emperor and Aragon was the dominant power in Iberia with vested interests in Italy. So it's not how it will look, but this is how it would look if all of these ahistorical things were the thing. Okay. So we have the Red Turban Rebellions situation as well. It's likely to happen as soon as Yuan Empire ends up at low stability. It will create an international organization called the Red Turbans, which will get a lot of rebel countries. The situation can happen to Yuan after 1350 if their stability drops below 25, while also either of their estates is not satisfied. The requirements are harsh, but once you reach the Age of Discovery, you've avoided the situation. With that being said, the situation will most likely fire in a playthrough. During this period, the Red Turban Rebels will spawn as an international organization, which is in direct opposition to the Huangdi, the Chinese emperor. While the situation is going on, events will pop up that force Yuan to release historical Chinese tags in their historical order. So the first Song is released, then Wu, then Tianwan, etc., which join the international organization and immediately declare their own independent war on Yuan. Each rebel nation is playable when it spawns, and they can wage war with each other too. The countries spawned during this situation have a custom loyalty value which describes how well loyal they are to the Yuan, which goes from -100 to 100, and grows or shrinks depending on their opinion of Yuan. Most rebel nations start at -100 as they actively fought against Yuan. However, some nations spawned through the situation represent the Mongolian generals who gained a lot of autonomy, but were still fighting for Yuan's cause. They would spawn with +50 loyalty. If any rebel country reaches more than 0 loyalty, they will automatically leave the Red Turban Rebels IO. In order to end the situation as Yuan, you have to regain internal stability, but also ensure that the Red Turban Rebels have no members left anymore after 20 years at the start of the situation. All states spawned through the situation with over 50 loyalty will then automatically be annexed by Yuan. On the other hand, the situation also ends once any rebel tag owns the majority of China and all of the locations there. If that happens, the rebel tag, which fulfills this requirement, will assume the imperial throne and take over the tag of China. The situation unlocks special diplomatic actions for Yuan and the rebels alike. Yuan can grant titles to any released state that it is not at war with, giving a significant loyalty and opinion boost in exchange for a hefty fee. They can also negotiate with local rebellions, which decreases the process for a rebellion to break out, and they can call loyalist countries, those with +50 loyalty, to their wars against the Red Turban Rebels. Meanwhile, the rebel states have a special CB against Yuan and other rebel states, with a vastly reduced war score cost for Chinese locations. They also get access to an action that allows them to rein in a conquered area greatly reducing the local integration speed. Okay, that is dense, and there is a lot of information on that one. Oh my gosh. Having a this seems so incredibly customizable and like in depth at the same time. I'm imagining that modders can have quite a lot of fun with this situation system. But I will get. That's just the thoughts going on right now, but I'll get back to that. I'll definitely get back to that. Green are the loyal servants, orange are the rebels, and red is the strongest of the rebels. All right then. Other situations include things like the Western Schism, the 100 Years' War, and then Sengoku Jidai. We'll talk more about those in future Tinto talks. If you have a suggestion of what you think would be an important historical event that should be a situation, then please post them here. And yes, I will provide a link to this dev diary in the comment section below. Go on the forums and post your suggestions. And also post them in the comments below, because I would be very interested in reading them. Next week, we'll talk about something that many people have asked for repeatedly. Oh, what could that be? Actually, that's what I want to know in the comments. What do you think? What do you think this is? What have people asked for repeatedly? That could be so many different things. A globe map option, for example. But no, I would very much like to know your thoughts on this. Right. Situation system. What I'm thinking of course, I play a lot of Anbana. I love Anbana. Anbana is my favorite mod. It's fantastic. And for a while, I've been thinking Anbana probably should keep the 1444 date when they move to EU5. Now I'm thinking this system of situations can be utilized very effectively to bring the world into what 1444 looks like in Anbana. This looks like a really powerful system. What I'm thinking here is there's a lot of people who are very against mission trees existing in EU5, right? They really dislike them in EU4, and so they don't want to see them in EU5. There are people who are like not wanting any form of railroading, pathfinding, nudging in any direction. They just want a fully simulationist world where things will play out based on mechanics alone and no flavor at all. I don't like these people. They don't have any ideas that I think are fun. But I think this may be the halfway house that brings them more into the fold and satisfies them a little bit, because this is mechanical. It is, I guess, a little slight bit of railroady to force these things to happen. Like we say here, 100 Years' War is going to be one. The Western Schism is going to be one. These are things that happen very shortly after the start date. I think like the 100 Years' War starts at the start date. But if we're also thinking about things that are going to be happening later on, could we end up seeing the Protestant Reformation be a situation? Could we end up seeing, honestly, the various things that you obviously have in EU4? I was about to say the Burgundian inheritance, but we had confirmation already that that was not going to be a thing. But I don't know. There are maybe some people who will consider this to be a bit railroady for them. I don't. I think this looks really, really good. But yeah, what do you think? What do you want to see in this system? What do you think will be a good element to represent in the situation system that is something we have maybe in EU4 or that just isn't represented well enough that would fit here? Because I'd be very intrigued to hear your thoughts. Maybe something to do with the Columbian Exchange, where goods get swapped between Europe and the Americas could be a situation. I don't know. It feels like there's a lot going on here. If the Italian wars with these various different leagues and the Yuan rebellion can fit inside a same mechanical situation thing as the Black Death, I feel like there's a lot of potential here. That is one of those, like international organizations, a huge umbrella that a lot of things can fit under. So yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I will, of course, be scouring the comments here and on the forums and bringing you as much information as I can. I will see you guys on, I believe, Friday for some more maps, where I think we're going to be talking about the maps of Poland, and that should be a good time. So I will see you then. Remember, if you want to keep up to date with all Tinto talks, Project Caesar, and EU5 news, then hit the subscribe button, like the video, and talk to me in the comments. I'll see you there. Bye-bye.